Dear learners, I welcome you all to this module on dynamic factors and international trade as part of the second module on basic theories of international trade. So, as a part of this, the learning objective of this module are, after going through this module, you will be able to explain dynamic factors and international trade. Then you will be able to describe growth in factors, supplies, and international trade. Then you will be able to state technological improvement and international trade. And also you will be able to discuss changes in the test and international trade. So as a course introduction, you have already got a fair idea about the concept of international trade and different theories related to international trade. In the last video lecture, we have discussed three theories. The theory of absolute advantage by Adam Smith. The theory stated that specialization increases total production for both countries, making everyone better off. Then the second theory of David Ricardo is the theory of comparative advantage that stated that even if a country is less efficient in producing all goods, absolute disadvantage, it should focus on goods it is less inefficient at producing with real world application. And the third theory we have discussed was on opportunity cost theory. The theory stated that opportunity cost is what a country sacrifices in producing one good instead of the another. So a country should specialize in goods where it has a lower opportunity cost, leading to better resource and gains from trade. So theories discussed in previous section were based on static conditions, like we have considered the other things remains constant. So that is why we have assumed each nation has given an unchanging factor of endowment and technology. Also, each nation has given an unchanging taste. Changes in factor, endowment, and technology of a country leads to shift its production possibility frontier. On the other hand, changes in taste and preferences of a country may result in a different indifference map. Accordingly, volume and terms of trade of the country endowment change. So this section examines impact of these dynamic factors on volume and terms of trade of a country. So what will happen if the other things remain constant? That will change in a dynamic form. So let us in this module discuss the dynamic factor and international trade. So let us first discuss what is dynamic factors. So these factors explain how changes in resources, technology, or preferences may affect the trade. So first we will discuss the growth in factors, supplies, and its relation with the trade. So now let us discuss what is growth in factors, supplies. If a country gets more labor or more capital, it can produce more and trade more. So given the technology, if the factors of production available to a nation increase, the nation's production possibility curve shift upward. If the labor and capital grow in the same proportion, it is called balanced growth. So the new production possibility curve has the same shape as the old one. If the supply of labor increases proportionately more than that of the supply of capital, then the nation's production possibility curve shifts more along the axis measuring the L, that is labor intensive commodity, then along the axis measuring the K intensive commodity. So opposite shift occurs if only the nation's supply of capital more than proportionately that of the labor. Then technological improvement. So now let us discuss the relationship between technological improvement and how it affects the international trade. So as a result of improvement in technology, a nation's production possibility curve shift outward. So you can see from the diagram, like In general, there exist three types of technological progress. One is K-saving technological progress, that is capital saving technological progress. In this type, the productivity of labor increases more than that of the capital. As a result, labor is substituted for capital in production. At the unchanged labor capital ratio, it rises. Since more units of labor are used per unit of capital, this type of technical progress is called capital saving. It means that a given output can now be produced with fewer units of labor and capital, but with higher labor capital ratio, or vice versa, we can say a lower capital labor ratio. For example, a machine that doubles cloth production in US with a shift trade pattern. You can see from the diagram how this labor capital ratio changes the scenario. Then the second type of technological progress, that is labor saving technical progress. So in this type, the productivity of capital increases more than that of the labor. As a result, K is substituted for L in production. At unchanged capital labor ratio, it rises. So since more unit of capital are used per unit of labor, this type of technical progress is called as labor saving. It means that a given output can now be produced with fewer units of capital and labor, but with higher capital labor ratio. You can see from the diagram, the differences are visible. Progress. It increases the productivity of labor and capital in the same proportion. So with the unchanged relative factor prices, the capital labor ratio remains same after this type of technical progress. So that is, there is no scope for substitution of labor and capital since both are changing at the same ratio. So this type of technical progress implies that a given output can now be produced with less labor and less capital. So you can see the graph where it is clearly visible that with the proportionate change of both labor and capital, the things will remain same. Then changes in taste and international trade. So if the change of a customer changes. So example, if the UK prefers wheat less and cloth more, its trade volume might decrease. Improving its terms of trade, it gives up less to get more. Offer curve shows how much of its import commodity a nation requires in exchange of various quantities of its export commodity. Ultimately, it reflects the terms of trade of the country. A change in the taste and preference of a country alters the volume of trade and ultimately the nation's terms of trade. For example, if the people of a country, other things being constant or equal, starts to prefer its exportable commodity in place of importable commodity, the volume of trade of the country declines and the country's terms of trade improves. So let us suppose that the cloth and wheat are respectively exportable and importable items of UK. Both UK and US are in equilibrium at point J. You can see from the graph as directed by their respective offer curves. So other things being equal, now suppose the UK's taste shifts away from wheat towards cloth. In such a situation, the offer curve of the UK shifts away from UK to UK dash. It is because of the fact that the UK now wants to less quantity of wheat and is willing to offer less of its clothes than before. The new equilibrium will be established at point J dash, where the UK exchanges only 20 cloth for 40 wheat. Thus, the terms of trade of the UK improves to point PG dash equal to 2 from point PB dash which is equal to 1. Since the terms of trade improve, there is an increase in the welfare for UK. However, there is also loss in welfare for UK due to reduction of specialization and consequent fall in the volume of trade. Exact amount of this gain and loss will depend upon the relative strength of these two forces. So from this graph, you can clearly see the point PB dash and PG dash. So contrary to this, if the UK takes a shift from cloth to wheat, the offer curve of the UK will rotate clockwise. As a result, volume of trade will increase, indicating gain in the welfare. However, since there is reduction in the terms of trade, there will also be the loss in the welfare. Again, exact amount of gain or loss will depend as mentioned above. So upon the relative strength of these two forces, dynamic factor cause the following changes. Like first is shift in trade specialization. As resources grow or technology improves, countries may specialize in different goods. For example, a country with more skilled labor might shift from exporting raw materials to high-tech production. Then volume of trade. Improvement in technology or resources increase production capacity, leading to higher trade volumes. Then changing taste might either increase or decrease the trade depending on the preference. Then terms of trade, like technological progress or resource changes often improves a country's terms of trade by lowering the production cost. However, a shifting taste might worsen terms of trade if a country's exports become less desirable. In the earlier video lecture, as we have discussed about production possibility curve, now we will discuss some illustrations using production possibility curves. Like before technological progress, a country's production possibility curve is smaller, indicating limited production. So after technological progress or resource growth, the PPC curve will expand outward, showing more goods can be produced and traded. Then growth in emerging economies. Countries like China increase their labor and capital, leading to massive export of manufactured goods. Then technology in agriculture, like innovations like genetically modified crops, allowed US to dominate the wheat export. Then consumer taste for rising demand for eco-friendly goods has shifted trade pattern towards green technologies. So these are some of the changes which occurs because of these dynamic factors. Now let us sum up whatever we have discussed in broadly, like the dynamic factor theory that highlights how evolving conditions like resource availability, technological progress, and consumer preferences continually reshape global trade patterns, making them more responsive to change over a period of time. These theories show how countries benefit by specialization in what they do best, like absolute advantage, we can say, or where they sacrifice less, or that means less opportunity cost. Over the time, changes in resources, technology, and preferences further shape the trade pattern. The dynamic factors theory explores how these changes over the time in resource, technology, and consumer preference affect the international trade pattern. Unlike earlier static theories, this approach considers the evolving nature of trade due to external changes, like for growth in factor supplies. So this refers to increase in resources like labor, capital, or land in a country. So when a country gets more resources of its production, like the production possibility curve shift up outward, indicating an increase in its production potential. So if the resources grow equally, that is in balanced growth, the production possibility curve expands uniformly. If one resource grows more than that of the other, that is in unbalanced growth, the production increases more for goods that use the growing resource intensively. Then in case of technological improvement, these involve advancement that make production more efficient, allowing countries to produce more with the same or fewer resources. There are three types of technological progress. First one is your capital saving or K saving technological progress. The productivity of labor increases more than that of the capital. So capital is replaced by labor in production, leading to higher labor to capital ratio. For example, in the UK, new sewing machine might allow more cloth to be produced with fewer resources. So it will help in boosting the production, comparative advantage in cloth production. Then secondly is labor saving technical progress or L saving curve. So in case of L saving, the productivity of capital increases more than that of the labor. So labor is replaced by capital in production, and it will lead to higher capital to labor ratio. For example, in the US, automation in wheat farming might make wheat production cheaper and increase its export. Then the third one is your neutral technical progress. That means both labor and capital becomes equally more productive. So in this case, the capital to labor ratio remains unchanged because the labor and capital both are equally changing. But overall efficiency improves. For example, if both cloth and wheat production in the US become more efficient due to better technology, trade volume may rise. Then if changes in consumer taste and preferences. So if consumer taste changes over a period of time, then what will happen? This factor examines how shifting consumer preference affect the trade. Suppose a country's trade volume in terms of trade depends on its consumers and those of its trading partners' preferences. When preferences change, the offer curve representing how much a country is willing to trade with different terms, it shifts. So impacting the volume of trade and relative gains. So if the consumers' preference for that particular goods shift to the other goods, then definitely the curve will again shift. So for example, if the UK's population start preferring cloth over wheat, then the UK will trade less wheat for cloth and improving its terms of trade. However, reduced specialization might decrease the total volume of trade. Dear learners, as we have completed this unit, so what are the possible questions may arise from these two units? So one is explain Adam Smith views on international trade. Then international trade with the help of its opportunities cost, you can explain that one. Then analyze the impact of changes in taste and preference of the people of a country on international trade. Or there are some other questions what are the assumptions of comparative cost theory? Then explain various types of technical progress and their impact on international trade. So that's all about this dynamic factor and its relation with international trade. See you again. Till then, bye.